I think overreacted. I've been little more dramatica because I'm not. You as used to the River Phoenix's family escaped a dangerous cult when he was 7. They changed their last name and started over. But some secrets can't be outrun. By age 23, River had confessed to childhood abuse that shocked America. He dated co-stars, refused big movie deals, and lived like he was running out of time. Then came that final night at the Viper Room. What happened in those last moments wasn't just an accident. It was the end of a story that began in a cult compound. Years earlier, River Phoenix was born on August 23, 1970 in a small wooden house on a farm in Madras, Oregon. His full name was River Jude Bottom. That name wasn't random. River came from the holy river in the novel Siddhartha by Herman Hesse, and Jude came from the Beatles' song Hey Jude. His parents believed names had meaning. They wanted something spiritual, something artistic, something that fit the life they dreamed of. His mother, Arlen Sharon Dunetz, was Jewish, born in the Bronx. Her family had roots in Russia and Hungary. His father, John Lee Bottom, came from Fontana, California. He was once Catholic but not anymore. His ancestors were English, German, and French. Together, Arlen and John had no interest in staying still. They were hippies, drifters searching for something bigger than the usual life. In 1968, Arlen was hitchhiking through Northern California. She had left behind a normal life in New York where she'd once been married to a computer worker. But she wasn't happy. She wanted more. That's when John picked her up on the side of the road. They clicked immediately. Within a year they were married. That was September 13, 1969. After that, they didn't settle. They became migrant workers picking fruit across the country. They didn't care about money or comfort. They moved constantly. River and his sister Rain had no real home and no real school. They performed on the streets just to eat. River later called it a desperate life, but it was the only life he knew. In 1973, when River was just 3 years old, the family joined a cult. It was called the Children of God. This group started in 1968, led by a man named David Brandt. Bert, he said he was a prophet. The cult attracted thousands of young people, grew fast, promised love and faith, but underneath it was something much darker. By 1971, the cult had over 4,000 members across the U.S. They lived in communes and followed strict rules. Bert wrote thousands of letters which he called MO letters. These letters became more disturbing over time, especially about sex. The cult taught that sex was a way to show God's love, but they didn't stop at adults. They included children. River's family was sent to Venezuela. His father became known as the Archbishop of Venezuela and the Caribbean. The children performed on streets and in churches. River said they lived in a rat-filled shack. They had barely enough to eat. And the worst part was what happened behind closed doors. In 1991, River told Details magazine something horrifying. He said he lost his virginity when he was 4. Other children were involved. It happened in the cult. He said he had blocked most of it out, but the trauma was there. The cult taught that children were ready for sex at age 4. Adults would sleep with children. Parents were told this was normal. Babysitters called house shepherds were often the ones who abused the kids while the parents were out trying to bring in new members through sex. River's brother Hachin was born in Puerto Rico in 1974. But even then the family kept moving from Venezuela to Mexico to other places in South America. Always poor, always working in the fields, always under the cult's control. The children didn't go to school. They just performed. They sang and played music on the streets to make money for the cult. Sometimes crowds gathered Police had to break them up. But to the cult it was just business. The kids were useful. By 1977, River was 7 years old. The family couldn't take it anymore. The cult had become even worse. Berg's teachings were becoming more extreme. He wanted children to take part in adult sexual rituals. That was the final line for John and Arlen. They ran. They were broke. They had nothing. For a while, they lived in a hut on a beach in Venezuela. Then a kind priest helped them. He gave them food and shelter, and he helped them get onto a freighter ship going to Florida. Once they got to America, they were different. They needed a fresh start. So on April 13th, 1979, they changed their last name to Phoenix. Like the mythical bird that rises from its ashes, they wanted to be reborn. It wasn't just a new name. It was a way to leave the horror behind. River Phoenix started acting at just 10 years old, but it wasn't some lucky break or dream come true. It began with poverty. His family had just escaped a cult in Venezuela. They lived in slums with rats and no toilets. When they reached Los Angeles, they had nothing. River and his siblings would sing on the streets for change just to eat. One day, while they were performing on a street corner in Westwood, a talent agent named Iris Burton saw them. She saw something in them, something raw and real. Within months, River was doing national TV commercials. He was 10 years old, but already feeding his family. If he didn't earn money that day, they didn't eat. He wasn't just doing ads. He and his sister Rain became audience warm-ups for a TV show called Real Kids. By 1980, River appeared on a show called Fantasy, singing with Rain. He could tap dance. He could impersonate Elvis. And he was just getting started. When River was 14, he got his first movie role in Explorers with Ethan Hawke. They started filming in October 1984. It should have been a big moment, but the studio rushed everything. The editing wasn't even finished when they demanded it hit theaters. Came out on July 12, 1985, right before